And good afternoon, everyone. Phil Penarski here with the Wood TV Live Desk. Hope you're all having a great start to your Tuesday as part of our continuing coverage of not only the Michigan Panthers, but the United Football League in general. We're happy to be once again joined by Breeland Speaks, the defensive end, the star defensive end for your Michigan Panthers. Breeland, thank you so much for being here today.
Yes, sir. Thank you guys for having me.
Of course, and you guys are coming off a really tough loss to the Birmingham Stallions on Sunday. I don't want to spend too much time talking about that loss. Obviously, the Stallions, against the Stallions, I mean, because obviously you guys are probably already looking forward to next Sunday's game against the Houston Roughnecks. But then also you guys played a really great team really, really closely. I mean, is that something that you guys are kind of hanging your hat on? Does it make the loss a little bit easier to take in, knowing that you guys almost were able to pull off the upset?
I don't think it's something that we necessarily hang our hat on because at the end of the day, our goal was to win the game. And that's kind of really the only thing we had in mind. But for us to play like we played, we made mistakes on both sides. But for the most part, for us to play the way we played and still be able to only lose that game by 7 points, it definitely gives us a little bit of confidence knowing that, okay, even though we didn't play our best, we still were in that game all the way to the end. So it's just taking that into next week and getting ready for Houston and the guys just understanding, okay, we might need to lock in just a tad bit more.
Right now, and you mentioned you guys did make a couple of mistakes, but you guys also played really well, especially on the defensive side of the ball. You guys held the Stallions, to just 20 points in that game, holding them mainly to just field goals, stopping them in the red zone, having that bend, don't break mentality. Was that something you guys knew you wanted to try and execute on the defensive side of the ball going into that game?
Definitely, but I mean, we're talking about one of the top two offenses in our league. Those guys had some dynamic playmakers, especially at the quarterback position. So for us to, like you said, for us to hold them to just 20 points, I mean, guys are still wanting more, but are definitely feeling good about that carrying over to next week.
And I do, as I mentioned, don't want to spend too much time on that. I want to shift a little bit over to you yourself now, Breeland. I mean, you're off to a great start this season, just like last season. We had Coach Mike Nolan on earlier before the season even started, and he talked about how big it was for you and Frank Ginda to come back to the team and really help out that defense that was very good last season in the USFL and is already showing out in the UFL. I mean, what was your motivation really to come back to the Panthers this season and kind of continuing what you guys started last year?
Kind of felt like unfinished business. Made it to the playoff game last year, even though we lost that game, but definitely felt like we had some momentum to build on and come back to this year. Me and Frank had numerous conversations about just wanting to finish what we started last year. So that's probably one of the main reasons why I chose to come back with the Panthers. And also, I mean, I love Coach Nolan, Coach Bauer, all of our coaches, even the offensive coaches. So it just felt like home coming back and being able to play with Frank and being coached by Coach Nolan.
Absolutely. And, also you spent a lot of time this offseason with an NFL team, the San Francisco 49ers. Can you talk about that experience? What was that like to, kind of getting sort of like in Major League Baseball, you get the call up to the big leagues, spending time with a lot of great players, great coaches at the NFL level, and then also being able to bring that back down to the UFL level?
It was a great experience out there in Santa Clara, out there with the 49ers. Learned a lot, definitely learned a lot. Understood why they are one of the top defenses in the NFL. Those guys are going all day, every day, and I got to be a part of that at least during the training camp aspect of that. But all in all, it's a great experience for me. Unfortunately, it didn't work out, but I take that with me everywhere I go, anywhere I've been. I take the knowledge given from those places.
Right now, they've got a couple of star defensive ends there as well. Breland, you
Mhm.
guys are taking on the Houston Roughnecks at Ford Field this Sunday. Tickets are still on sale for everybody watching to attend that game. They're 0-2 to start off the year. You guys are now 1-1, but the Roughnecks have only lost those two games by a combined 11 points. So they do keep these games kind of close. What do you guys need to do? What are you guys kind of talking about right now to make sure that you guys can get back into the winning column and also gain maybe an extra little step above the rest of the teams in the USFL division?
I think mainly we want to focus on just, I mean, like you said, Houston has lost those games by a combined 11 points, which I mean, they are in those games. They're not necessarily a bad team. They just kind of came up short the last 2 weeks, which I feel like they have a really dynamic offense as well. Like the last 2 weeks we played, but I think one thing about us is probably want to focus on the things that we do a little bit better this week and just being able to carry that over to this week and just do the things that we do right and just continue to build on that.
All right, well, we're definitely looking forward to that. Breeland Speaks with the Michigan Panthers stopping by the live desk today. We really do appreciate it. I do want to remind everybody watching that that game against the Houston Roughnecks is taking place at Ford Field this Sunday. We've got all the information and places for you to even go ahead and attend the game in person if you want to make a weekend trip to Detroit out of it. We've got all that information for you over on our website, woodtv.com. Breeland, one last time, thank you so much for stopping by today. Good luck this weekend.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, of course. And I want to thank everybody else for tuning into this latest edition of the Wood TV Live Desk. I'm Phil Pinarski, and we hope you have a great rest of your day.